Good morning, farmers! Need to get started on this day. I double checked this time and that maize field is fully ready to be harvested. But there's just one thing we're going to do first before we head on down. Well, it's a couple things. There we go. Need to fill up our tank because we have enough in storage to do so. I think we had about 21,000 in there, so we should be able to fill the tank no problem. Just double make sure that the slurry spreader isn't on. Done that before. But after we get this done, we're going to bring it up to our parking lot. And we're going to grab the cultivator and bring the cultivator down with our wife's tractor. Because after we get done harvesting the maize field, we're going to hire, well, hopefully hire someone to plow it, and we'll give him a head start, and then we'll cultivate right behind him to get it good going on the field instead of having to wait on the guy to finish plowing. I thought I don't remember what I planted in the greenhouse. I thought the stuff in the greenhouse was ready, but I don't remember what I planted. Let's actually bring it way over here. Park it right next to this one. And now we'll come over and grab the cultivator. We're going to head on down to the field. If it wants, there we go, thank you. No good jobs available today per se. I don't plan on doing any today. So hopefully I can stick to my complete plan today. That would be nice. First time in a couple days to be able to do so. Hey Aiden. It's Aiden, right? Yeah, Aiden. Yeah, I think I've been playing long enough now when I start to know who lives where and what their names are. And usually I'm not good at names, right, Oliver? So we're going to head on down to the cornfield. We're going to start harvesting. I've already hired a worker to start sowing soy in the first cornfield we did yesterday. And there's either someone plowing or cultivating the other field. I can't remember where I was at in that one. I want to say they're still plowing. Is this Grace? Hey Grace, how you doing? I want to say we left them plowing. I don't think we hired anyone to cultivate yet. But yeah, we're going to harvest the 2.5 hectare field. And then we'll hire someone to plow it. And then we'll, after we get done moving everything around, give him some head start. Because Hop Along Charlie doesn't utilize the width of his equipment well enough. So we'll have to give him a head start. And then we'll fall behind with the cultivator. I didn't check to see if any of our other fields were ready, but they shouldn't be yet. You can see that worker right there seeding along. Yeah, and I don't see any of our other fields ready yet. Which is fine, because this cornfield today should take us long enough, I think. Actually, I'm going to park our wife's tractor down here. This should be out of the way. I can park anywhere in someone's lawn because I own the town, pretty much at this point. The way I look at it. I mean, I fix everything. I harvest all the fields. I buy stuff from markets around here. Yeah, that guy's still plowing, so we need to hire someone to cultivate when he's done. And also, after he's done cultivating, then get someone seeding on it as well. And we need to hop into the beast. Nothing in here, right? No, nothing in here. I forgot how big this field is, but I can check in a second. Did I turn on the header? Yes, I did. right? Yeah, we're collecting. Yeah, this is about just a tad over 2.5 hectares. So this will probably take us into the early afternoon, I would think. I may even hire someone to plow this before I finish harvesting it. Because in theory he should start plowing the outside of the field. And we'll have already harvested on the outside of the field. It'd be kind of interesting to do that, I think. So we'll see how that goes. And I did want to talk to the wife this morning, but she went right to the kitchen, so the heck with her for now. Seems like when I want to talk to her, she gets right out of bed and goes to the kitchen. When I don't want to talk to her, she's out pulling weeds. Or feeding the chickens, or whatever she does around the house. Yeah, we're doing pretty good on film. Did I? Nope, just fertilized it with the artificial fertilizer. We do, but we do, well, I don't want to say we do need to get this field cultivated today. I mean, it should be no problem. But it's what I'd like to get done. Which, unless something weird happens. Unless our wife calls up on the phone and said, you know, we got to head out to town or something. I don't know. Shouldn't be a problem, really. I'm going to get someone actually plowing the field, I think about once we get more into the center. And I'll make sure that the harvester's empty so we're going. I don't want to hire a worker and then head off selling grain, which is not too far up the road anyways. But it would be nice to stick to our plans for today. Seems like the last few days have been a little... Well, really, if you want to go back to where we started working in the big field, the last few episodes have been rather... I'll just say hectic, really. Maybe for myself, because that field does take a lot of work. Only because I was making videos out of it. I mean, if you're just doing it and doing it at your own time, heck, you can work in the field for half an hour and save it and continue it a couple days later when you decide to play. I was trying to make it all into one video. And no one really wants to see me harvest a big field for an hour and a half or whatever it takes. I don't know, maybe some people would like that. I don't know. Already at 8,500 in the tank. I did notice when we were going on the other side of the field, when we were going around the harvester, it seemed like the harvester was going over some rough spots. I can't remember if I cultivated this or did I hire someone to cultivate it last time. I used to have no problem remembering when I just had the fields around the farm. Now that I got these fields down here, and with the helper system, I'm just losing track of what fields I did when, what fields I worked in. It's a big mess. But we should also today, when it's done, or when we're done working, we'll bring the harvester and the header back to the farm. Only because I need to put the corn header back. And I believe the other header is at the farm. I don't think I left it here anywhere. Actually, this is kind of perfect. It's almost full when I'm right next to the tractor. So I think what I'm going to do is back up and fill the tractor and trailer while we're right here. Well, actually, I'm not filling the tractor. This is a trailer. One thing I also wish they would change is it seems like no matter what you harvest, it's the same graphics for the discharge. But at least I will say this one, the what you see in the trailer is always different. Although corn kind of looks like the wheat as well, maybe. So I'm going to get moving along in this field. I didn't turn the header off, did I? Nope. And I shall bring it back when we have done a lot more than what we've done so far. Okay, so I just made my second trip up to the sell point. We have a pretty much empty harvester. I parked my tractors over there. And I think I got much of the headlands gone. So we just hired a worker to work in the field that we're working in. We should have no problem staying ahead of him. As you can also see, the field is awfully bumpy. I thought I cultivated this myself last time, but maybe I didn't. Because really it shouldn't be this bumpy if I cultivated it. But we can't really pause for too much now. I mean, if worse comes to worse, I can always cancel the worker. But then, of course, when I hire a new one, he'll just start over. So we just have to make sure that we stay ahead. Like I said, shouldn't be a problem unless something weird happens. I can't even really think of what the weird thing would be. Where is this guy? I did hire a worker. I did say you have a worker coming, right? I mean, I could look on the map. I'll give him a second to appear from wherever he comes from. Either way, I'll just give us more time to kind of get ahead of him. But also by hiring him a little bit early, he'll start plowing, and by the time I finish cultivating this, by the time I finish harvesting this, in this nice little bumpy field, hopefully we'll have a head start and we can get going on the cultivation part ourselves. Oh, there he appeared behind us. Hello, sir. Ma'am, whoever might be in the tractor at this point. Because we are actually almost 70% harvested, so he has a ways to go to catch up. So it looks like he's going to go around counterclockwise while we go around clockwise. I probably will have to make a trip back up to the sell point before I finish. The way the harvester's been, the way the corn's been yielding, it should be that way. But you can see how bouncy it is in this field. I could have sworn I cultivated this myself last time. If someone else knows, let me know, because I swear I cultivated this. But like I said, I haven't been able to keep track of what I did where anyways. But there we are money-wise. We're doing pretty good. I was hoping maybe to hit 400K today. And I think we're going to come up probably like 8 or 9,000 short of that. That'd be my guess at this point. But we shall see, as we always do. But yeah, I want to keep rolling along with this. We'll see how it goes, and if something interesting happens between me and the worker, I'll fill you in. Well, no problems with me and the worker so far. They're coming along just nicely. I think he's going to be about 25% done when I finish harvesting, which is in a second or so. And that field up there now, we got a guy sowing the field. The tractor trailer isn't full. It's got about 11,000 in it. And this has 8, so I'm not gonna bother topping it off since I gotta make 2 trips anyways. What we're gonna do is get the heck off the field. Turn that off, raise that up. And we'll go park somewhere out of the way. Man, this field is awfully bumpy. And we'll probably just park on the road up here and I'll actually put the pipe out anyways because I got to unload it again. But we'll go park up next to one of our field up here that's got, I want to say P in it, but we'll park right here for now, which is a wonderful parking job. I mean, I gotta be careful. I think what we'll do is we'll walk back, because if I click on the field by accident, I might cancel the worker. So we could use some exercise anywho. So he is actually 32% done. So by the time we go up and get rid of all the corn that we need to sell and get to cultivating ourselves, hopefully he'll be somewhere around 40% done. So he should have a good enough head start on us and we shouldn't be able to catch up to him. Although it seems like he's moving along faster than I thought. Just like the day is moving along fast because it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And yes, if I didn't say so, he is seeding with soy as well. And I may put peas in that field up there. That's a decent sized field. I think peas will go well. I want to say this field over here. Yeah, that's peas. That's what I thought. I actually remembered something. But let me go sell this. Now come back, we'll empty the combine, go back up, sell it again, and then we'll hop in the wife's tractor and start cultivating that field. The old harvester. Don't miss it at all. So we made our final trips up to the sell point. We ended up with 387-ish, so even I was still off on that total. What's my food and sleep like? So-so. He is actually halfway done with the field, which is great. So he's going to go that way. Don't tell me I'm going to get this message the entire time, even though he has plowed this section. Okay. I can deal with that. You guys won't have to watch it too much. Yeah, so probably for the first half of this job, you won't see that much. That way I have to keep listening to that ding and tell me I'm cultivating a field that hasn't been plowed yet. It's partially plowed. At least by us by plowing, hopefully it'll take all the bumps out. I thought I plowed it myself last time. Let's cultivate the road as one would. But it looks like it might be a little bit of a late evening, because this is going to take me a while to do 2.5 hectares, I think. This day has advanced more fast than I thought it would. I was hoping to start cultivating around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just about 6 o'clock. But we will get this cultivated today. It's not going to push us too late into the evening, I hope. And then tomorrow I'll probably hire a worker to put some peas into this field. I'm not sure what the next day on the farm is going to be because none of our fields are ready at the moment. We'll see if some jobs come up in between them. If no interesting jobs come up during the day, then I'll probably will be harvesting one of these fields whenever they are ready. He's still sowing away on that field over there. He'll be done not too long because it's not a big field. Alright, let me make some circles here and I'll bring you back when he's just about done. And then we can finish up ourselves. Hey dude, you want to like pick up the pace or what? Remember when before I jump cut, I said, well, he's at 50% and we're just starting, so we should be fine? Yes and no. I've kind of had to slow down some. So he's now at 94% and we're just about at 80%. So keep that in mind if you want to hire someone to plow the field and you cultivate behind them. Yeah, he probably needs to be almost 3/4 of the way done. Maybe not so much on a smaller field, but at least on this field here, from what we're seeing. I've had to change my cultivation plans a little bit. I was actually shocked when I started going through and I was like, oh, I'm at 25%. What is he at? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm catching up to him at a decent rate. And my guess is he might even go even slower when he gets towards the center. And we may actually have to leave the field because when he gets towards the center, he may spaz out if we're too close to him. I can't remember if it was in my update video or the video after when I was hiring a worker and I was watching someone seed a field. I'm like, oh, how's he going to cover that little centerpiece? And he kind of like bogged out and the tractor started sinking into the soil. I'm like, oh, I better get out of here before I make the game crash or something. And yeah, it's late at night. Too late at night. Not as late when we're working the big field. I mean, this is easily going to push us to midnight, I believe. But it doesn't matter. We can go to bed at 5:30 in the morning and wake up with full sleep. So, yeah. Yeah, I know I'm tired to miss my bed. What time is it? It's almost 11 o'clock. But this field will be ready to be seeded tomorrow. As long as he finishes at some point. How's he doing? He's got 2% more. We got 15% more. So he was 50% ahead of us, and now he's just barely like 13% ahead of us. One thing that hasn't happened though, I haven't made him stop or anything yet. Like I haven't been too close to him where he doesn't know what to do. So that's a big plus. I'm sure if I was directly in his path, I'm not sure what he would do, and at this point I don't want to find out. Not when he's this close to finishing the field. I even think at one point when I was passing by, I'm like, dude, you want to speed this up a little bit? What day of the month is it? It's the middle of the month, so we'll get this seeded. It'll be still the middle of the month, obviously, the 15th. So we should be okay for this field to be ready by hopefully mid-September, almost the last week of September. Yeah, he's getting close to where he may spaz out in the center. Maybe if we don't look at him, he'll be fine. Yeah, so now we're only 10% behind him. But he is trying to do tight little circles there. And looks like he's starting to spaz out. See how he's sinking into the field a little bit, not doing anything? It says 100% plowed, so what I need to do, just so he doesn't really spaz out too much, is we're going to go down here for a second. And see, he's done. So now we'll just jump back to our cultivator. And he's gone. So just keep that in mind with workers. If you're working around them and they get near finished, I don't think they'll complete their job. They'll sit there and their tractor just kind of sinks into the soil. Don't ask me what happens if you sit there and just watch them longer and longer and longer. I'm sure it can't be good. At least now we can finish this field, and in theory right now I can hire someone to start seeding the field, but I'll just wait until the morning. Matter of fact, when I get done here, I'm just going to leave all the equipment here. I'm going to jump back to the van and head to bed. I'll leave everything here and maybe take care of it off camera in the morning if there's nothing to do, while the worker seeds the field. Because I have to get the field seeded tomorrow. The sooner the better. I don't want to push it too late to the month by keep skipping days before I got something to do. Because that just means the harvest in September will be later and later, and I may not get this field reseeded with winter canola. Yeah, I know I missed my bed, but I'm not too worried about it anymore now that I know I can kind of cheat the system. But we are almost done here anyways. It surprisingly has taken me longer to work in this field than I thought. I mean, we really just harvested it and cultivated it because we didn't plow it, someone else did. It's not like he held us up too much. And I didn't get that late of a start on the field. I think I started around 7:30 or 8 o'clock or something. Well, hopefully now that we cultivated it, all the bumps are going to be out of the field. It was a little rough harvesting some parts of the field. It wasn't all parts of the field, so I'm not quite sure what was going on there, because I thought I cultivated this last time, but maybe this was a field that I hired my first cultivator worker and noticed he didn't take out the bumps like I thought he would. But they seem to take out the bumps if a worker plows it and they cultivate it, they seem like they take out the bumps. But if I have plowed it before and I haven't cultivated it, it almost seems like the bumps stay there whether they plow and cultivated it and all that fun stuff. Not sure, it's just that something I have noticed. But we can just about call this done. And we'll get this little strip here just to make sure we get most of the bumps out that we can, if there are any here. And at this point, what's one more pass on the field, right? So that field is seeded. That little small field over there is seeded. And we're going to park this just right here for tonight. Jump back to the van. Get rid of the... Oh, great. I even forgot what that's even called now. Maybe I'm a little tired. The scaffolding. Had to get rid of the scaffolding. So we did empty this today as well. So now we're just left with 3,000 in the tank, but I do have another tanker up there that's empty that we need to fill up. But guys, that's going to do it for today. As you can see, I'm tired. I do appreciate you watching as always. Hopefully the video was enjoyable. And I will see you in the next episode. Until then, have a good one.